Namaste, Guam, and welcome to KOAM News Extra. I'm Sonia Artero. Human Rights Watch is an international nonprofit organization dedicated to protecting the human rights of people around the world. Recognizing the power of film to educate a wide audience, the group created an international film festival to showcase films that stimulate conversation about human rights issues and to inspire new generations of human rights activists. As such, the 4th annual Human Rights Watch International Film Festival will be held at the University of Guam between April 26th and May 6th, where participants will see a total of 9 award-winning films focusing on a wide range of human rights topics. Here to encourage the public to support their cause are a couple of the group's film festival coordinators. We have with us Farah Bidinger and Jason Titano. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
It's our pleasure. Now, what is human rights all about?
Well, human rights, in general, are the basic rights that we're all born with, that are inalienable. It's just, the right to be able to go to school, to work, to have access to clean water, to food. There are basic rights, and Human Rights Watch, as an organization, sets out to protect those rights in countries all over the world.
When did Guam actually get involved with this effort?
About 4 years ago, they started the Traveling Film Festival, which is our contribution to Human Rights Watch. And our director, Dr. Ian Twaddle, he's the one that kind of started it all. He's a professor at University of Guam, and he single-handedly kind of put this whole thing together and has been for the past 4 years.
Well, let's talk about the structure of the film process as it is here on Guam, because apparently this is a film that goes around, or these are films that are seen all around the world, and then you as a group select which films you want to show here at your own film festival. Let's talk about that process and how it works and how people, what they'll actually see during that time.
Well, there's 2 main festivals. There's the one in New York and the one in London, which are the Human Rights Watch big festivals. And then the Traveling Film Festival, any community can kind of get involved by taking some of the films from London and New York and bringing them to their own community in what's called a Traveling Film Festival. But it's actually restricted to the United States, but all of the films are international. So that's why it's called International Film Festival, because they're films from all over the world.
Now, by showing a broad scope of the human rights issues, are you trying to localize issues here on Guam by having this venue, if you will?
Well, one of the great things about film is that it's such a powerful educational tool, and these issues that are going on in the world, they're kind of the big picture, and everything that we do in our community plays into the big picture. And so the things that we learn from these films really have everything to do with the way that we live our lives and can inspire us in our everyday lives to try to make a difference.
Now let's talk about the featured films that you have chosen out of this huge group of films that you'll be featuring here on Guam.
Yeah, we screened a wide variety of films, and we came up with 9 specific ones. Specifically, we screened them, we chose them for their content and their message to bring to Guam. Our first night, our gala opening, we're showing The Road to Guantanamo. And this film, it chronicles the stories of 3 British citizens from Tipton, and as they leave to go attend a wedding in Pakistan. And as they cross the Afghan border, that's when the U.S. starts their invasion. And they get picked up as terrorists. They're accused of being terrorists, and they're later transported to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. And it chronicles their story. The second night, we have The Forest for the Trees, and this film is about an environmental activist, Judy Barry, and it follows her court cases as she's tried to being cleared of being a terrorist herself after her own car was bombed. And the film after that one is Sierra Leone's Refugee All-Stars. This is about 6 Sierra Leonean refugees who are now living in the Republic of Guinea, who formed a band and tried to bring peace and unity with their music. Okay, the next film that we will be showing, it's called Black Gold. And this follows a man named Tedesi Maskela, and he tries to save about 75,000 struggling farmers who actually grow their own coffee and try to sell it and introduce it into the world market. So it's about fair trade coffee. Okay, the next film after that, it's called Total Denial. And this is about citizens from Burma who are charging two multinational companies for atrocities committed to their people, like forced labor, rape, murder. And it chronicles the court cases there as well as they're trying to build a pipeline. The next film that we're going to be showing, or the next film on that list, it's called KZ. And this is about a Nazi concentration camp where people from over 30 nations have been tortured and murdered. And it's a postmodern documentary about this concentration camp. And the way it works is the camp is preserved, and there's like busloads of tourists from different countries and different nations that come and tour this facility. And each of them, the tour directors, like they state the facts about what went on during when the camp was the actual concentration camp. The next film we're going to be showing, it's called Iraq in Fragments. And this film, it's three perspectives of Iraq as a war-torn country, but they're three internal perspectives from the Sunnis, the Shiites, and the Kurds. So it's a very interesting film. And we also have a night where we're going to be showing women's films, because March was just Women's History Month, so we decided to have a women's night. And the first film on that night, it's called Killer's Paradise. And that film is about all of the murders and the atrocities that happen in Guatemala that just happen and nobody ever takes action, or it seems like nobody takes action. And the final film we'll be showing, it's called No More Tears, and it chronicles the journey of a young lady, a revolutionary, and her pursuit of justice. And that's pretty much all the films we'll be showing.
Will you be showing approximately one film a night, or maybe in some nights a couple different films?
Yeah, some nights we're going to be having double features. Like on the women's night, we're having the Sri Lankan film and the Guatemalan film. And then the Sierra Leone Refugee All-Stars, that's paired with Forest for the Trees. And then Total Denial is paired with Black Gold. Yeah. So a couple of nights you'll get kind of more bargain for your buck, because you get to see two films in one night because they're a little bit shorter. And they we picked films that went together thematically. We have kind of like themes for each night, so that's why we did it that way.
Well, it sure sounds like you're going to be covering a wide range of topics, and it sounds like it would behoove people to go every night to make sure that they see the film. So thanks for clarifying that.